Imagine spending your days and nights in excruciating pain, or being so nauseated that you cannot eat, and when you look in the mirror, you see your body wasting away in front of you. Or maybe you can't look in the mirror at all because your glaucoma has progressed to the point that you cannot see. Now you're depressed and you're anxious, and you feel like the entire world is closing in on you. What do you do? Now, what if I told you there was a simple, all-natural way to help alleviate these symptoms? But there's a problem. The government says you cannot have it. What am I speaking about? Medicinal marijuana, an all-natural herb in which the primary cannabinoid is THC, which targets the CB1 receptor in the brain, nervous system, liver, kidneys, and lungs, which lessens the body's response to pain. And according to DisabledWorld.com, has been used medically for approximately 4,000 years. First, let's look at how marijuana works. According to Kim Ann Zimmerman in her report, Medical Marijuana, Benefits, Risks, and State Laws, marijuana contains 60 cannabinoids, with the primary cannabinoid being THC or tetrahydrocannabinol. Now, as you can see, this shows you the different things in different areas of the body that can be helped with cannabis. Marijuana can help to alleviate the nausea, vomiting, and wasting associated with HIV and AIDS. It can also help with chronic pain and the side effects associated with cancer treatments. Interlobular pressure in the eyes of glaucoma patients can be relieved, and it can also help to slow or stop the progression of the condition. Those that are suffering from multiple sclerosis experience muscle pains, tremors, unsteadiness, and spasticity, which can be relieved with the use of marijuana. Epilepsy sufferers have reported that marijuana has helped to prevent their seizures and lessen the duration of them. And for those that are dealing with anxiety and depression, they have reported that their symptoms were relieved while using cannabis. Now that we have learned what sort of illnesses and chronic conditions marijuana can help, I will now explain 3 different ways it can be taken. First, let's start with the most well-known, smoking. Marijuana can be rolled into cigarette papers, which most people call a joint, or it can be smoked with a pipe. The drawbacks to smoking marijuana is that the inhalation of the smoke into the lungs can lead to an increase in bronchitis and respiratory infections, as well as the chance of developing cancer of the throat and respiratory tract. Another way to use cannabis is to use a vaporizer. Vaporizers heat up the marijuana using an internal heating element, which then moves the heat through it, which releases the THC and CBDs. And vaporizers can be either AC or battery powered. Vaporizing marijuana is less harmful to the patient's throat, lungs, and mouth than smoking is. Next on the list is edibles. According to Cindy Liu in her article, How to Make Marijuana-Infused Cooking Oil, it is simple and easy to make your own edible cannabis at home. To infuse the oil, all you have to do is grind the marijuana in a blender to the consistency of oregano, and then add it to a crock pot of heated canola oil. After alternating heating and cooling for 3 days, you then strain the mixture. After the mixture is strained, you then place it into mason jars and place it in the refrigerator, which it can keep there for up to 3 months. It can then be used in any recipe calling for cooking oil. So, what's the difference between smoking marijuana and eating it? Marijuana, when smoking marijuana or vaporizing cannabis, the effects of the drug are felt immediately and can last 2 to 3 hours. Edible cannabis, on the other hand, is processed by the liver, which changes the THC into the more potent 11-hydroxy-THC, which has a more sedative effect. Therefore, it takes approximately 45 to 90 minutes for the patient to feel the effects, and they then last for approximately 6 to 10 hours. So, today we have learned about the ways that marijuana can help with chronic illness and medical conditions. We have also learned a few different ways that marijuana can be used. By smoking, vaporizing, and ingesting. 23 states and Washington, D.C. have now enacted laws to legalize marijuana. And as you can see on this map, the states that are legal and medicinal use only, where it's decriminalized, and everything that is black is where we are trying to get that changed because it is still illegal in all of those states, including here in Kentucky. Now currently, Kentucky House Speaker Greg Stumbo is working to get an act cited as the Gatewood-Galbraith Medical Cannabis Act placed on the November 2015 ballot to legalize medicinal marijuana here in Kentucky. So now that you have learned some of the benefits of medical marijuana, it is now up to you. How will you vote? And what would you do?